Good afternoon, ladies. Today, I want to talk about how to calm the frenetic feeling of having to know everything and having to learn everything and having to research everything that I know that so many of you deal with on a regular basis. So much of what I do is based in nature. It's based in the cycles of nature and listening to nature. And I just want to say I can relate to all of the research because just like you're researching all the time, so am I, because I'm passionate about fertility. So I'm constantly listening to podcasts and reading and doing research for the clients that I'm working with. And what's true is that in the past, mainly this year, I put myself in overdrive where I was just every free moment I had, every 15-minute drive or washing the dishes, I was listening to a podcast, trying to take in information, trying to process information. And it made my nervous system really hyperactive. So what do I mean by that? There is an energetic frequency in your body when you are going all the time, when you're processing information or receiving information. It actually makes your nervous system more keyed up, is a good way to say it. So how does that feel, right? Do you know the sensation that you get when you are researching something online? You keep researching, it's midnight, it's 1 a.m. You're like, oh my God, I need to go to bed. And it might feel like your heart is racing. It might feel like you get that second wind, right? You're tired, and then you go online and do research, and then you get the second wind, and that actually is your cortisol being activated. So when you are rushing to look up something, or when you're feeling really stressed and you want to go look something up, there's an energy in your body that is frenetic. And I can relate to that because I can get the same way. And there's chemicals that your body releases when you do that. Cortisol, sometimes it's adrenaline. And what happens is it ends up burning you out. It ends up burning out your nervous system when you do that all the time. So what I want to offer to you is a little story. I decided to take off a week from work at Christmas. And a week off from my clients downtown, a week off from my coaching clients. It was absolutely glorious. And it was the first time I ever allowed myself to do that in 11 years of working for myself. And probably before that, because I worked for other people, so I didn't really have off. And I kind of went into this slump where I was just not getting dressed and showering until 12 or 1, sometimes even later. I've got a 5-year-old daughter, so it's super easy to just be in my pajamas all day with her, and I do not like that life. I am not that person. I do not like that life. And I was like, oh, this is uncomfortable. I'm getting into a slump, And I kind of went deep into this space of just goo. I'll call it goo. And I was also processing a lot from the past year. A lot of grief came up for me. New Year's Eve, I cried at dinner. It was not a celebratory New Year's Eve, which I'm sure many of you can relate. And I kind of went down into the shadow, which is very important to do. And now what I've noticed is that I have kind of unhooked myself from the addiction to the information intake overload that we are so doing all the time in our culture. We're not meant to be getting this much information all the time. Our bodies and our chemistry and our nervous system are not built for it. We've only had technology for the past, 100 years in different ways and shapes and forms, but this kind of technology and high level of information download is only recently, and our brains and our nervous systems are not built for it. So what happens is when we have those cortisol bumps, it affects our progesterone. So it actually pulls from our progesterone production, which we're chronically, we have chronic progesterone deficiency in our culture as women. We have estrogen excess and progesterone deficiency. We need it. It is gold. It is not only gold for fertility, but it's gold for moods. It helps our cardiovascular health. It helps our brain health, preventing depression. And it is so important. So what I've noticed now is that I'm not on that hamster wheel anymore, where I'm constantly trying to get more information and learn more and get more information and learn more. Like, I trust myself. Like, I'm going to do the work, but I'm not constantly filling all of my space with information. I want to encourage you not to do that. Get off the hamster wheel. Get into your body. Like this morning, I did some restorative yoga for the first time in weeks, and it was so glorious for my nervous system and my body. And I was like, yes, this is how I want to feel. So check in with your body, check in with how you feel, and do what feels good to you. You don't need to be downloading all that information all the time. So I just want to give you liberty to get off the hamster wheel and learn how to be in your body, instead of constantly processing information. It takes energy to process that. It takes a lot of energy, especially when the information you're processing has an emotional tint to it. You're not just like looking at math homework. You're looking at math homework and you're wondering why you can't do it. And you're beating yourself up about why you can't do your math homework. There's layers of stress. So, sending you lots of love. If you can relate to this, pop a comment below. Take care of yourselves today, ladies. It's snowing here and I am just reveling in it. And what's more important is that what I said at the beginning is that nature is the basis of my medicine. And what is nature doing right now? Besides snowing, nature's hibernating, nature's slowing down. Nature's taking all of her energy out of the leaves and bringing it back into the trunks of her trees. But this is the time to restore ourselves, because if we don't slow down during winter, we will burn ourselves out and we won't be able to burst out with the energy resources we need in the spring. Anyway, I hope this resonates with you. Take care.